Okay, I'm going to cover my face. I'm shy because, guys, I got scammed and I almost got scammed. On one hand, I did actually get scammed, and on the other hand, I almost got scammed. So let's start with the backstory. The backstory is that in the last 6 months, there's been two different scams attempts made at me or made to me. And I feel so sad because I'm supposed to be smart and I am smart, but these things happen. And I'm sharing this video especially because of people who just need to be aware. First of all, I currently go to U Chicago. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, it will be 10 years after, and I'll be far gone in my career. I'm probably working as a badass lawyer trying to protect human rights. But right now, as I'm making this video, sometimes in 2024, I want to share the backstory. Um, no, let's go back to the very beginning actually. Okay, so you see, let me come back here. I'm trying to help you see everything. So she said, is the apartment available? Do you still have the room available? Please get back to me, as you can see. All right. I then responded saying yes, this apartment was available, and they said they gave as much information as possible, which people normally do when they're trying to rent. And so, after giving this much information, you would think that they are legitimate. Now, she told me how she was doing research abroad and she was coming back to Chicago. She needed a place to stay. And then fast forward to much later, I then sent her the rental document. I even shared my profile. I told her, the things that the apartment has and literally everything you can think of. In fact, she even told me that she was good with the pictures, that she didn't need to come check the place, she didn't need to do a video call, and that I could send my information following all that details. Now, when all of that was done, she then went on to ask me questions about airport transportation to my address, completing the lease document, blah 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 blah. So, in fact, she even sent this email with all these pictures of herself. You see, she sent me pictures to make me think that she's real. And obviously, I think I also went on LinkedIn to check on Judy Anderson. So let's do a quick LinkedIn search, right? She also sent this picture, and then she sent that one, right? Technically, it's the one and the same person, right? Now let's go to LinkedIn and search for Judy Anderson. So let's say we're going to LinkedIn now, and then we say we're looking for Judy Anderson. So let's go to my search box and say Judy Anderson. Now, there were a lot of Judy Anderson, so it wasn't really easy for me to sift through, right? But I think I found someone that did look like this person. So, long story short, let's come back to the emails. I didn't see anything as a red flag actually, and so we went on to her sending another email saying that she needed to find out if she could move in around the 25th, as you can see in this email. And then I said yes, and then she went on to provide me some details. I gave her all the context, Now let's move on to here. Now she then sent another email saying the date that she would like to move in, and then I confirmed that the date was okay with me. Now, later on, she went on and on, could not send me payment to book the space via PayPal, Venmo, or all other US approved payment systems, that she was going to mail a check. Now, I wasn't very comfortable with that because I haven't been doing the check option since I anytime I have to rent out a room. But I was like, okay, no problem that we could do that. Now, you see, got good. Can I mail you the check? And I was like, I was just trying to make sense of the whole logistics. Eventually, they then sent the check. Now, when they sent me the check, I realized that there was before they sent the check, I was not comfortable with the whole arrangement, especially that they were not asking the right questions that anyone who is looking to rent a place would ask. So what did I do? I started going online to watch videos about online scams, especially check related scams. So they then sent me the check. Long story short, I'm not gonna bore you because I feel like this video is already getting too long. So now, this is what the fake check looks like. I'm gonna pause this. So here is the check, right? So if you look at this check, it did say 6,000 something dollars. So I did actually, she was paying for the 3 months, and she also wanted me to use some of the money to pay someone that is supposed to come pick up a car, that is supposed to come drop off a car. Now, if I had cashed this check into my account, okay, that would mean that I would withdraw an additional $3,000 and send it to them. You know what that means? So essentially, I would be putting a fake check into my account, and then I would then be paying them the difference after I had removed the $3,500 for my rent, for the rent, or for them renting one of my apartments, one of the rooms in my apartment, and then I would then be giving them the extra, the difference of the 3,000 of the 6,950 after I had removed the 3,005, and they were then going to tell me how to pay them that difference, right? Which was what they were going to do. Now, when I got this check, a couple of things didn't check out. The first thing was the name. I saw the name of the bank. It did look like a real bank, right? But I just noticed that the edges were too finely designed. And then I went online. I was hoping to see the name of the person that I'd been speaking with. Because if she says she is Judy Anderson, I was supposed to at least see something that says, okay, her name is Judy Anderson, right? And if her father is what she claimed the father is, then I should see the name of the father, not Walton Inc. And so when you go online and search for Walton Inc., it's a completely different company, right? Honestly speaking, Walton Inc., let's even check the address of Walton Inc., Komotara with Chiquita. Walton Inc., Komotara. Now, that was the first red flag. Walton Inc., Komotara. So that didn't check, okay? Honestly, they got the address right. It's a legitimate company, and it's a meat processing company. It's like, it didn't make sense to me that, okay, if the name is Judy Anderson, how come the check is by this name, right? And then I checked this code. Yeah, the bank does have a correct zip code, but I just noticed that with the name on the check not corresponding to the father's name. And when I went online, okay, this is something else that I did. I went online and searched for who is the owner of Walton Inc. Okay? So I went online to search for who the owner of Walton Inc. is. Now, what I found was the owner of the company. Okay, I couldn't find. Now, this one is saying I couldn't find specific information. Who is the founder? Who is the founder of Walton? Guess what? Don Walton. You see that? And then Don Walton's son, Bert Walton, took over as president in 2010. So the name does not check. It doesn't check out. And if you go on YouTube and just simply say YouTube and you search for videos on how to know a check is fake. And I think I found one very helpful video that just helped me realize that actually this is a fucking fake check after all. Okay? I won't, so like I'm just sharing that you can find as many videos online for sure, to let you know when a check is fake. And yeah, this is the video that I found, ABC Arizona, and I would recommend that you watch this
I just
video.
paid $300 million for, and I deposit them. Are they real? Yes and no. Banks allow the deposit, but the checks are fake. And you don't find that out until after the scammer has instructed you to take out some of the money and send it back to them. Your money's gone. So, how do you check a check? We found this Federal Reserve website and looked up this check Dottie sent me. I found the business is real, but when I put in the check routing number and the bank listed, they didn't match. Or you could just live by this rule. You don't get money for nothing. Deposit one of these upfront checks and you lose every time. Go to abc15.com, click on sections, and let Joe.
So you see, from the video, you can tell that that's obviously one of the stupid scams out there. I'm not sure. Did you watch the video? But yeah, let me show you. This is the video. I recommend that anyone who is trying to detect a scam can definitely watch this video.
She would work from home.
That represented Walmart.
It's like 17,000, I think 706.
She sold cosmetics online at amounts like these, the ones that people send me every day asking, can I deposit them? Are they real? Yes and no. Banks allow the deposit, but the checks are fake. And you don't find that out until after the scammer has instructed you to take out some of the money and send it back to them. Your money's gone.
So you see, ideally what they normally do is they ask you to deposit the money and then you send them excess or the difference or something. So like in this case, I was supposed to deposit the check and then send them some money. Okay, so we all have to be careful because sometimes the shit gets really shitty. And then guess what? This bitch also had the audacity to email me and said, look like a scam. Like, am I the scammer or your great grandfather? He's the scammer. But that's how I was able to get over this very crazy experience. And let's move on to something else. This is the one that really pained me. So this is the remote work scam. Now, on UChicago Marketplace, there are listings for remote jobs from time to time. So, for instance, some companies are constantly hiring for a remote position. So, if you look at this organization, for instance, it's called Stula LLC, and it is a scam. And I didn't know that this company is a scam. So, I got a data entry project courtesy them, which I applied for. Now, how did the conversation start? I applied through a legitimate email, a legitimate website. I did my due diligence. They had all the information that was accurate. It will shock you. So I started off with the conversation from here. I hope this email finds you well. Please find attached my resume, and you see, and then a few days after, I think after I emailed them on Sunday, then on Monday morning they said they're delighted to, after reviewing my resume, they are impressed. I mean, the get back time was very quick, especially for someone like me who is trying to recover from a very financially stressful summer. I lost a lot of money, so like my body find money. So, but of course, I'm trying to find money the right way. So they emailed me a couple of documents, right? the application questionnaire, and then I filled it, I sent it back, and then they told me that they thanked me for completing it, and then they said they were going to send me follow-up email with interview questions. That was on Monday, okay? You see, by Monday again, that was a few minutes after, they already sent me the enclosed interview questions, and and that I was supposed to provide my response. And then 11:54, they got back saying that was okay. And then by the 19th, the next day, I had completed the questions, sent it back, and then they had reviewed my answers by 1 p.m. on Tuesday, and then they said it was all good. And then wow. And then they went on and, look at the whole conversation thread, right? Once the review process is complete, reach out to a decision, and then that was and then Wednesday came, and then Monday of the new week, they said they are pleased to offer me, an employment with them, that I was gonna get paid this amount, and for someone who is trying to get back on financial track, dude, like, this is good money, especially as other funds has to go into, like, our startup, and I didn't want anything that would require that I was working in person. Now, a $50,000 job, let me say, for someone who lives in the US is way, way cheap. But I thought that this was not going to require that I work in person. This is fully remote. I can build a startup company on the side, and I had been interested in a data entry / data analysis kind of role, because it was going to provide me with some skill set that I needed to use to improve our market research. Long story short, I answered all the questions, and then they followed up and said that now that I signed your employment letter and agreement, they're looking forward to having me join the team. And then they connected me to someone else on the team, Noah Moses. Now, at this point, I was like, okay, let me look up this organization, right? They have a website now. Oh, just come and see for yourself. So you see, they do have a website. Like, you pretty much will say, okay, this organization have a website, they have email, they have phone number, they have an address, although the address isn't listed on the website, okay? I mean, the website is very basic, nothing very, like, organized or anything, no video reviews or anything whatsoever, but you can tell that at least these are people who are smart to an extent, yeah? And then their services, still very basic website, but you still see that they at least have a website. Even some organizations that are legitimate don't have this kind of branding. And if you go to Facebook, they are also on Facebook. They have professional email addresses. Like, dude, you're not necessarily gonna think that this is a fucked up shit. So I then started the communication with Noah Moses, right? Which is supposed to be the HR contact. I started communicating with Noah Moses from November 27. He said, oh, welcome on board. Thank you. That's the communication. And then they assigned me the first project. And then I was supposed to deliver on the 23rd. And okay, I knew that, okay, with the way the task is, I might not be able to finish everything on the 23rd. And this is the part that really pained me, because I spent money. Because I wanted to really quickly get the project done, okay, and I was still taking some certification program with Google. I needed to get people who could quickly enter the data for me so I could clean up the data, structure the data, and have everything set. I was excited about the process, but guess what? You see? Now, I should complete the task by the 23rd. As you can see, I had to pay people to help me enter the data. so that I could meet up with the deadline of delivery. In fact, I saw this as a promising opportunity because I'm like, oh, if this works out, we could partner with this company at ID for You and have them listed as one of our partner companies for providing remote positions to survivors, because most of the people who worked with me for the gig were survivors in one way or the other. So I was excited for them that, oh, this is good. This is good opportunity for us all. And so, additionally, they then told me that they wanted to remind me that they had to receive my forms, and then I completed the forms, And they said they were going to send me some kits. That's where the scam started. Now, me that I was trying to figure out how to quickly get the project done, hoping that I was going to get paid by the end of the month from these people. So what did I do? I needed to follow up on their requests. What did they ask me? They said they wanted me to fill some forms for requesting equipment, and then they were following their previous question about equipment purchase. They sent me an equipment purchase authorization form. Okay, I think I should even be opening some of these forms so you all can see their real bullshit. So I filled this form, yeah? And then I sent it back. And then there were other forms that I filled and then sent all those back, and then so later on, they were like, as they move forward in the process, that they needed me to provide my signature. They were going to send a signing bonus with the equipment, which some organizations or most organizations would do. So I sent all my bank information. I also sent them, you see, they even then sent me a check. Now, eventually, because they had my signature, they could, prepare me a check remotely, and then they needed me to deposit this check. Now, when I deposit this check, what would happen most likely would be, for me to see if the mobile deposit worked. And then once the mobile deposit works, for deposit only, you see, that's the number. Do not write, I don't even know which kind of bank issues this mobile deposit check. So I told them that I could not deposit the check, right? And when I told them that I couldn't deposit the check, the next thing they said was they needed me to provide them my, you see, I understand the challenges you're facing. Kindly provide yourbilling.com, because I had received money from other contractors or organizations using billing.com. So I was like, okay, they could pay me through billing.com. Hey, guess what? They then were asking me to send them my own ID and my own password. And you know what? Since they already have my direct deposit information, once I send them my billing.com information, they can easily move money, okay, or in or out of my accounts, out of my bank account, once they can connect it to billing.com. I don't know if that makes sense. So they already had my direct deposit information and my routing number and whatnot. So if I provided them a billing.com details, it is as good as they have access to a mobile banking information of mine that will allow them access the fund. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So essentially, they just wanted to bar me. And they actually succeeded a little bit, because imagine the money that I paid to people to help me clean the data, actually to help me enter the data so I could clean the data and make it ready for this organization. Now, there were a couple of things that were unsettling about the organization. One of which is the fact that the website is just so lame. They don't really have anything on their website. And I want you to be careful. See, some organizations will post and post and post on social media, and they don't have anything concrete on their website. And even if they do have concrete information on their website, even sometimes if they do have an actual address, they can just be scammers. Like literally, these people are everywhere. Sometimes they even have a huge social media following. So I talked to one of my friends who has been very supportive since I came to Chicago, and she was telling me that that I could check about these organizations on Reddit. So we went to Reddit, okay, and then we entered the name. Is Tula LLC a legit company? So we did our search, and then you see exactly the kind of information they shared with me, exactly the kind of email I got from them. You see, look at this. This is the applicant questionnaire, job offer similar to what I got. At least you saw their logo. Can you see their logo? So now, and then many other shitty information, and then they went on and on. See, these are the kind of bullshit that they do. And I just want to share this, especially with even like people from African countries who are always excited about a virtual assistant role, a remote position. And there are some things that are almost so, they're completely true, they're legitimate, they have a website, they have social media page. You're not likely gonna think that they are scammers, right? But I'm just here as your sister and as a survivor like yourself to help you become aware, even though my money that I spent on getting. But the good news is I was already looking to get people for our data analysis and market research at I Did For You. So just knowing that through this process I could identify some amazing talent, I think for me is a win. And also the fact that I can put this information out there for you is a win as well. So what next for me after this crazy, shitty experience? What is next is that I am going to, focus on, I'm just going to focus on getting some other remote opportunities for people within our ecosystem, but rather than look at organizations through third-party website, I'm going to basically use referral system. In other words, the organizations that we know already, we can talk to them and say, hey, if you need people to perform these kinds of roles, we do have people within the I Did For You ecosystem that can render such services. And I think, again, I want you to also take note that an organization has a website, a .com email address, or a .org, doesn't mean that they are legit, because a .com, a .org, or whatever, these are websites that people can buy from a domain company, right? And a domain company seller will not verify you when they're selling their domain or their hosting site to you. So like we use idforYou.com. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're real or fake. Of course, I'm not saying ID4You is fake. That I use Bisola-Mariam.com does not necessarily mean that Bisola-Mariam is a legit or a fake person. But I'm saying that a .com website, even a .edu or a .org, does not necessarily mean someone is real or fake or legit. So if you want to learn more about, just things that would help you stay above and reduce re-traumatization as a survivor, I'd recommend that you stay close to my personal website as I would continue to share more updates. Yeah, this website will be updated frequently, and you can learn more or contact me through my website. And yeah, I'm just gonna end this video now because your sister is still a pain. This thing is still hurting me, but we move. And my email address is always accessible on my website as well, I guess so. So if you wanna connect, just find my email somewhere, and I look forward to connecting as well. Yeah, I think this is my link tree. So with my link tree, you can actually find out more about me. Alrighty, that is it. All done. Thank you for watching. Hi.